In this video, I'll be talking about my favorite topic of all, how to create massive scale in your e-commerce PPC campaign. Hey, I'm Daryl from bigflair.com, and if you head over to our blog, you'll see real-life examples of how we've scaled e-commerce Google Ads accounts to tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue. This video is where I will give you the high-level overview so that you can achieve similar results for yourself. I'm going to dive into the exact channel selection and order that you should approach each channel in, and I will teach you the relative risk-reward profiles of each channel. If you are struggling to scale your Google Ads account, by the end of this video, you should have a much clearer action plan for how to go about it. Alright, so without further ado, let's dive right into the meat and potatoes of today's topic. The most important thing to start with are the three 80/20 campaign types or channels that you have available to you in Google Ads. What I mean is that there are three channels in Google Ads where for 20% of the effort, you can get 80% of the results. And those channels are shopping ads, search text ads, and retargeting. In almost all cases for e-commerce, those three channels in Google are going to have by far the highest chance of generating a profitable return on ad spend for the least amount of time and risk. Usually I would just recommend setting up all three simultaneously. However, if you are short on time and want to do one at a time, then I would attack them in the exact order I just said, meaning first shopping, then search, and then retargeting. You should go with shopping ads first because they are very quick to set up compared to search. Instead of having to do your own keyword research and ad copywriting, you can get a free app to auto-generate a product feed for you. And in a few hours of your time, you can set up shopping ads for thousands of products. Doing the same on search for that many products could take days or even weeks of dedicated work. If you do have thousands of products, you are going to need to prioritize the creation of your search ads campaigns, starting with the highest sellers first and then working your way down. And that right there is another reason why starting with shopping ads first can be a good idea. The shopping ads campaign will quickly set up ads for all of your products. And then you'll be able to use the actual sales data from shopping to help you prioritize the list of which products to set up in search ads first. Retargeting goes in third place on my previous list because it doesn't really generate new traffic for you. It helps to increase the overall conversion rate of the traffic that you got to your site through other channels, but it doesn't really get you new traffic in the first place. Before you have set up search and shopping, you might not even have a ton of traffic to retarget. So generally it's best to set up your traffic generation channels first. Once these three campaign types are all set up and running for you, you are going to want to make sure that for each of them, you are absolutely maxing out on the profit that you are generating. For all campaigns, this means paying close attention to your ROAS and impression shares. You want to get as much impression share as possible, whilst keeping your ROAS well above break-even ROAS. If you have a ROAS that is really high, for example, let's say you are breaking even at a ROAS of 2x, but your current ROAS is 6x, well, then you are probably missing out on a bunch of impression share. In this case, if you bid higher and allow your ROAS to come down to, say, 3x, then your impression share will go through the roof. Your clicks and conversion volumes will follow, and you will likely make more overall profit. So, to max out on all campaigns, you first want to make sure you are hitting an ideal balance point between ROAS and impression share, so that you are truly maxing profit. I go into more detail about this on my video about the ROAS sweet spot, so do check that out if you want more on this. In addition to finding your ROAS sweet spot, you'll want to make sure that you are targeting all the keywords that you can and should be. I call this keyword coverage. You want to be maxing out your keyword coverage. In shopping, this means that you want to have all the best keywords in your product titles. When you first generate your product titles, you will have a few ideas about which keywords are going to be best to put in there. But as you run your campaign, this understanding may evolve and change. So you want to go through a few phases of testing to figure out what combination of words in your product titles will generate the most traffic for you. Over on the search side of things, you are not limited to 150 characters, like you are with your shopping ads product titles. So on search, you want to make sure that every relevant keyword that is available to you has been added to the account and tested. Don't just be satisfied with doing keyword research once at the beginning of your campaign. Be constantly reassessing your keyword list and looking for new ideas to add and test. Now that you've maxed out your 80/20 campaigns on Google Ads, it's time to port over to Bing Ads. I'm surprised by how many e-commerce companies I talk to that have had good success with Google Ads, but hadn't thought to port campaigns over to Bing. Bing Ads gets about a 10% share of the market, give or take depending on which country you are talking about. If your search and shopping campaigns are profitable in Google Ads, they are most likely also going to be profitable on Bing Ads, albeit at about 10% of the overall sales volume. But that's an extra 10% of profit, so you might as well have it, right? And the best part of this is that Bing really knows its place as second in the paid search market. They make it super easy to instantly port your campaigns over from Google. So that extra 10% of profit is relatively easy to get. Simply use Bing's handy Google Ads import tool to get all of your campaigns set up in Bing. And then ongoing, you'll want to tweak and adapt the keyword selection and bids as you get more data in your Bing account. Search, shopping, and retargeting are all low-risk channels because of where they fall on the IDA marketing funnel. Remember, with IDA we have awareness, interest, decision, and action. The reason why the 80/20 channels are the 80/20 channels are because they are right there at the bottom of the IDA funnel. They focus on the decision part. But when you have done everything you can on those 80/20 channels, it's time to go higher up the funnel, towards campaigns that can actually generate awareness for you. These campaigns, being higher up the funnel, are inherently riskier. Being further away from the final action, the conversion rate is going to be much lower, and thus the risk of overspending is higher. On the flip side, the awareness channels have a much higher reward because there are so many more people available to target. So once the 80/20 stuff is out of the way, start testing awareness channels. Within the Google Ads suite, your main choices are YouTube ads and Google Display Network, or GDN ads. Let me give you some pointers on which one of those two channels you should select, or if you should just go with both, if you have budget to spare. If spending over 20K USD per month for 3 months in order to test is not a problem for you, and if you want to test and scale revenue as quickly as possible, then I would just go straight for both channels right away, GDN and YouTube. On the other hand, if you have a slightly lower budget and or appetite for testing, then you will probably want to select the one channel that is likely to work better for you out of the two, and then you want to roll with that one first. YouTube ads could be the channel for you if you have a product that looks great in video. Novel or interesting looking products where you can show the product actually working and craft a hero's journey story around it, those often do well on YouTube. Also, if you already have videos that are performing well in your Facebook ads campaign, then there's a strong sign that YouTube ads could work for you too. Sometimes you can just take the exact videos that were working for you on Facebook, tweak the formatting a bit, and make it fit better on YouTube, and then boom, it can work on YouTube ads as well. Other times you'll need to create custom videos specifically for YouTube. Remember that on YouTube, audio is much more important than on Facebook, and you can use that to your advantage. For example, if your most successful Facebook video ad has text scrolling across the screen explaining the product, well, on YouTube you can get rid of that text and use a professional voiceover instead. If your products traditionally do better with static image ads, then you may want to give Google Display Network a try first. With GDN, your ad creative is much more limited. You are only going to be showing them a small image. You won't be getting them to watch a whole minute-plus long video. So GDN typically works better when you have a very, very strong landing page and on-site funnel sequence, so that you can maximize your chances of taking users who are only slightly curious about your stuff all the way through to buying something via the strength of your website. So there you have it, my broad strokes formula for scaling up your e-commerce Google Ads account. Of course, for each individual component of that, especially when it comes to YouTube and GDN, there's a ton more detail and nuance to building it out. If you want to learn that nuance and the exact strategies that work, then subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell button right now, as this is the exact kind of thing I talk about in the 3 videos per month that I release. And if you'd like a custom proposal from me on how my team and I could scale your Google Ads account for you, head over to bigflare.com and contact me via the website. My team and I live and breathe Google Ads for e-commerce every single day. And whether or not we can help you reach your business goals, I'll give you an honest analysis of whether we'd be a good fit for each other. Okay. You are not? You are. No, you're not. You're not. Make your mind up. But an extra 10%, but that, no. Final action, final action.